Hello, and welcome to Just the Tips. My name is Mike Bridges, a player for Reserve Inspirations D&D. In today's episode of Just the Tips, I will be talking about getting started as a player in role-playing games, specifically Dungeons & Dragons. And keep in mind, these videos are compiled from our experiences and opinions, which may differ significantly from your own. With that being said, let's get started. So you want to play in an RPG? Well, what do you need to get started? There isn't a ton of things a player might need, but here are a few suggestions. A set of dice, seeing as generally, dice results determine the outcome for actions taken within the game. A pen or pencil, and a notepad for taking notes. Trust me, you'll definitely need them. The Player's Handbook, for D&D specifically. You can find information on everything from races to classes, feats, abilities, spells, anything. A character sheet with your custom-made character stats and backstory, which we'll talk about more in another episode of Just the Tips. A miniature to represent your character in battle scenarios, if you are playing in person. And, just because I know how much fun it is making these graphics, you also need a zombie riding a griffin holding a golden spear! You don't actually need the griffin, though that would be really cool. Finally, and possibly most important of all, snacks for the GM. Not only will you get bonus points, it's just the polite thing to do. GMs spend countless hours spinning an exciting and engaging story, a lot of times thanklessly. A snack or their favorite drink is a great way to show that you appreciate them and the time they spent to entertain you. Now that you have your supplies, you've made a masterpiece of a character, and you've picked up your GM's favorite snacks. What's next? Well, now it's time to play. In a future video, Lauren will be talking about player etiquette, but without stealing her thunder, I would like to briefly mention a couple of things to keep in mind. Take notes. There's nothing worse than making your GM repeat themselves multiple times because you weren't paying attention. And a lot of times, the GM or characters may reference past events, and if you have nothing to look back on, chances are you're going to miss important clues and plot points. Be respectful of other players and their feelings. If something you're saying or doing is making other people uncomfortable, stop, apologize, and move on. It's as simple as that. Stay engaged. Stay off your phone. Pay attention and try to keep a positive attitude. It can be frustrating, especially when everything you try to do fails due to poor dice rolls. Embrace bad rolls. Embrace natural ones. Some of the best role-playing is done when you fail miserably. Being a game of endless possibilities, there is a chance that your character could die. It's important that you know this going into the game, because it can be very emotional, especially if you've been playing them for a long period of time. Try to look at it in a positive light. Now you get to explore other character possibilities. And finally, do not cheat. It's not fun for anyone. This has been Just the Tips, how to get started as a player. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful to all of you prospective players out there. This has been Just the Tips, how to get started as a player. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful to all of you prospective players out there. I don't know what this is. I don't like that. We're not going to do that.
I think we're going to keep this one.
Great.